This is part 3 of our series, King Leopold's Ghost. We also post the full-length videos on our YouTube channel. King Leopold II now had his prize. Through a masterpiece of lies and deception, the world had handed him personal control over a territory 76 times the size of his own country. He was the sole owner of the Congo Free State, its land, its resources, and its people. But a kingdom on paper is not a kingdom in reality. To enforce his will and begin the process of extraction, he needed an army. But Leopold was a cunning businessman. He knew that sending thousands of expensive white Belgian soldiers to occupy the vast jungle would be financially ruinous. So he devised a cheaper and far more sinister solution. He would force the people of the Congo to enslave themselves. He created a brutal private army called the Force Publique. Its officer corps was made up entirely of white Europeans, a motley crew of mercenaries, adventurers, and disgraced soldiers from across the continent, drawn by the promise of wealth and absolute power. But the rank-and-file soldiers were all black Africans, and they were not volunteers. The Force Publique was built on a foundation of kidnapping. Leopold's officers would raid villages and abduct young men and boys, forcing them into long terms of service. They were taken hundreds of miles from their homes, deliberately severing their tribal and family ties. They were then subjected to a brutal training regime, beaten into submission, and taught to follow the orders of their white officers without question. They were given a modern rifle, a uniform, and a new terrifying identity. This was not an army designed for national defense. It had no foreign enemies to fight. Its sole purpose was to be an instrument of internal terror. It was a gang of armed overseers, a slave army created to terrorize its own people into submission for the profit of a distant king. The soldiers were often just as much victims as the people they were ordered to brutalize, trapped in a system where their own survival depended on inflicting suffering on others. With his private army in place, Leopold now had the tool he needed to begin his great project of plunder. His first target was ivory. But soon, a global boom in a different commodity would turn the Congo from a place of exploitation into a full-blown holocaust. The age of red rubber was about to begin. To learn how the invention of the bicycle tire unleashed a new wave of unimaginable horror upon the people of the Congo, follow for part 4. And subscribe to History and Beyond.